It's definitely been a while coming since we got our greenhouse, and we have been wanting to do this review and just haven't found the time. We've been so darn busy. However, here we are, early onset with winter moving in quick. Fall has been mild, not too bad. But overall, we've been really happy with the projects we've been doing back here, and kind of all centered around the greenhouse. I guess to start off, kind of why we chose this greenhouse, the Vego Pacific Greenhouse. It's an 8.5 by 8.5, and we had to build our own foundation for it. It was a kit, so we put everything together ourselves. But it kind of boiled down to just a few simple things: price, options, build quality, snow load, being able to handle the wind, and we really like the double wall construction. And price wise and options, really only probably 2 or 3 brands on the market that even come close to this price point, and the options available, it almost averages out. So you're kind of almost down to a personal preference on looks and what those options are. And the build quality, up until now we really haven't had much of an opinion on that, other than when we put it together. Definitely solid construction. All the materials are really well crafted, and it feels nice and solid, especially once we got everything together. So, just kind of boils down to the brand and the options available to you when it comes to price point and build quality. A lot of the features and why we chose this greenhouse, for one thing, it was just an all-in-one inclusive package. There wasn't a lot of going back and forth on adding this, adding that, changing this out, changing that out. It is as it is. It just made it really simple for us. The size was perfect. We thought about a little bigger, and it just didn't make any sense for what we needed. You can go smaller, which obviously wouldn't be what we needed either. So we really enjoyed finding a perfect size for us. It's 8.5 by 8.5 by 8.5. I mean, it's just square all the way around, although it has curved features, but it really is the perfect size for us. The 4 roof vents, manual, but they are standard. The double wall polycarbonate panels, which are really, really nice in the industry. The double door, which allows us to come and go with ease, as much as allowing for ventilation as well. The overall design, appearance, and feel of the greenhouse, it's just very comfortable. It looks very nice. It's kind of what we are. We just looking at all the different greenhouses on the market. This is the one that really just hit us well, struck our fancy, if you will. Customer service, really good people. Very responsive, always answered our questions when we had them during the build, so that helped out. And as much as helping us choose the right one for us, they were very responsive in answering our questions. It did have a gutter system on the outside, and then downspouts that you can run into collection barrels if you need to, which is kind of a bonus feature. Not that we were looking for it, but it was a nice bonus feature and something that we plan to use in the future. We're going to route that water that runs off into our gardens. And then, down at the bottom of the whole thing, the warranty is really, really good. It's something that they stand behind their product, and we don't have to worry that if something does happen down the road, that they're going to be there for us to help us with whatever could possibly go wrong. I don't see anything going wrong. This greenhouse is solid. It's built really well. So all in all, just the overall appearance and what it comes with, perfect for us. Love it. Really good quality product. Delivery and setup, that's a completely different story. This thing came on a pallet on a box truck, and they dropped the pallet right in the street. And it was kind of up to us to do the rest. I believe there is an option for them to put it in a spot for you. I'm not 100% sure if they put it together, but it's really straightforward. If you just be patient, and if you have any basic skills whatsoever, it really doesn't take much. I would definitely say you're probably going to want help with another person at some point in the project, but for the most part, a single person could do this job. It just makes it way easier, and a couple of the steps when you have those extra hands available to you. The 4x4 base is what we used, pressure treated lumber. Our entire back is in rock, so there's no dirt or anything that this thing is sitting on. So we just actually stuck the 4x4s directly on top of the rock, and then pounded big stakes into the ground to hold everything together. So it's solid, believe me there. The walls, when you go to put the walls up, that's when you really want some help, because if it's windy at all, those things are just going to flop around on you, and it gets kind of frustrating. We've seen a couple other videos where people were kind of jumping ahead in the program, following the instructions to shore up the walls and hold them in place while they were assembling it. But we just kind of held in there and followed the instructions number by number, and with a little bit of help, it actually is not that hard to do. Once the walls are up, it's really simple and it goes pretty quick. The panels themselves, a couple of times they were really tight to get in there, but overall the panels are pretty simple, straightforward. One of the things that we had heard, and obviously we probably would recommend too, is to have those panels ready to go. Go ahead and pull the backing off of them, and that just saves you a lot of time when you're assembling. And the roof vents and the doors, they were not hard. I thought maybe that would be the hardest part of all, but that was all pretty straightforward. A lot of this is just having all your parts available to you, putting everything out, laying it all out so you have everything in front of you and you know what you're dealing with. But the roof vents are nice. We just got the manual. We didn't think that we would need automatic vents or anything like that. I guess they could be nice, but it really has been hard to manage the temperature in here. Although temperature is definitely a whole nother story. We're looking at ways to mitigate the heat, and then also looking at ways to preserve the heat depending on the season. We're definitely got a couple of ideas in mind, but for now, this summer when we had it, we just, we got a little fan, and we just used that to blow air into the greenhouse, and then that heat would blow out through the vents, and that worked pretty good for us. We've got some projects that we're thinking about as far as winter time and extending our growing seasons using the greenhouse in really cold temperatures by using water in barrels. I've seen a couple of people doing that, and it seems to retain heat, as that water really heats up during the day and then slowly dissipates overnight. So that's one thing we're looking at doing. The rock and the pavers inside there definitely hold on to the heat. You can walk out here in the morning when it's been in the 30s overnight, and the pavers are still warm to the touch, so that's a really nice feature. Overall, it's staying about 10 degrees warmer than the overnight temperatures right now, which is pretty good. We'll see what happens in the dead of winter when we really get into the single digits and teens. One of the things that we did kind of have trouble with early on was with a lot of rain and downpours, heavy rain that is. We did have some places where the water was leaking, So we went ahead and ran silicone just about on any gap you can find on this thing, from the base to the top, the walls, everywhere. And that really seemed to help a lot. So we're not getting any of that leaking anymore, which is really nice. And some of the additions that we're wanting to do now is we did buy this one bench shelf right here for a workspace. It's the Vevor, I think it's Vevor. We bought some of their products before and we've been really happy with them. They're rock solid, they're really sturdy. This thing has been out here all summer now and into fall, and it is doing just fine. Not a problem. We're looking at replacing our little box right there with another Vego product. It has another tabletop. It also has places to store our tools and a little rack behind it that we can hang tools on. So that's probably going to be a nice addition. The box that we have is fine. It does have a tabletop on it and we can store everything inside, but we really want a lot of those tools readily available to us, so we don't have to just open and dig through. And plus this box is served as storage for a lot of our garden covers, like hail cloth and shade cloth and stuff. So we want to keep that available for those things, and then have our tools available in another product. Then we picked up these shelves from Amazon, just little metal wire racks, and we're going to put all of our starter plants on those. And the plan right now is to get a good month or two head start before we normally would get starter plants, and have them out here during the daytime, and probably take them inside overnight until we can really find out how we're going to mitigate the cold temperatures overnight. But for now, it would be a really good plan to just bring everything out here during the daytime. We've already had several 30-degree days where we actually had to open the greenhouse because it got really hot in here, even on a 30-degree day. And just opening one door or a couple of vents, it kept it in the 70s and 80s in here, even though it was 30-40 degrees outside. So we're really happy about the way it retains heat. Granted, it can retain too much heat, so there's a learning curve when it comes to managing the temperatures. Other than that, we're looking at probably getting some type of solar vents. We're not going to cut into the polycarbonate. We did talk to Vego about that, and they said do not cut into it. It could ruin your warranty as well, and we don't want to do that. So what we thought we would do is get some solar vent fans, and you should be able to attach those to the existing roof vents, and then have a solar panel on the outside to run them, and that would draw the air out of here faster, than obviously just letting it go through on its own. So that's another thing that we've been looking at. But these double doors, they really allow a lot of air to come in. So we're pretty happy about this so far. Just a little tweaking with the temperature management, but other than that, we should be really good to go. The overall project out here has been really fun. You can see it started out as just a greenhouse, and then it expanded into this very large deck area, and even more areas where we're planting bushes and more plants and whatnot. So this has been a really fun project. We can't wait to get to gardening again. This past summer's gardening adventure was kind of a dramatic one. It was the first time we'd ever dealt with rodents getting into our food and getting into the dirt and everything. So we kind of ended our season abruptly, as painful as that was. Definitely going to look at sealing everything up using like a chicken wire, small mesh, and then covering everything all the way around and almost gating it all in so that we can keep all those pesky animals and squirrels and anything else that comes around. I mean, we even see raccoons occasionally. They haven't been in the beds yet, but we do see them occasionally walk through the yard. We have neighbors that have chickens, and we think they go down that way, but we're part of their highway, so we want to definitely keep them out as well. So that's another project that's going to be coming soon. But overall, great project. Love the greenhouse. Really nice. This is really going to work out well for us. And to that, we will let the video continue on, and you can see the construction as we went through our project from delivery to setup to right here as we speak. Enjoy. we certainly hope that video helped. There's a whole lot of small details in there that you probably won't get until you actually start putting one together yourself, but the build is really not that hard. Basic skills is all you really need. Just, go slow, be patient, take your time, do it right, and you'll really appreciate this greenhouse. It's well put together. The construction and the quality of the materials is really good. It's like one of the things we were talking about the other day. When it's cold, and last night we were in the 20s, we had some snow overnight, and I'm sitting in here, early this morning. It's still 20-30 degrees out there, and it's thermometer's saying 65. So we're only going to warm up in here from here. Probably have to open the vents at some point. A full sunny day, it can be 80 in here, 85 no problem, even when it's really cold outside. So you'll come to appreciate this. And like I said, we were talking the other day, in the dead of winter, we can see ourselves coming out here doing more than just plant projects. Might come out here and just read a book, relax. I just want to sit in a place where it's warm, because it gets so cold over winter in Colorado. So love the greenhouse, great product, definitely highly recommend it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll try to answer them. You contact Vego. They are phenomenal at helping you in the process too. So I would say call them before call us, but we could always help if you need it. Other than adding some water barrels in here to help retain heat over the winter time, we just added some lights, and we like that. Try to include a picture at some point when it gets dark. Some shelving, stone walk path in here, some tabletops to work on. We're looking forward to next year already. We can't wait to get started doing our seeds in here, and just using the greenhouse for what it's for, and extra, like sitting in here on a cold day. I mean, it feels great in here right now. You walk out those doors, it's cold. So thanks for watching. Hope if you get one, you enjoy it as well. We'll see you later.